Yeah, I mean, you hit it on the head, and I mean, and that's why to me, it's as you explain that, it's no wonder that Rayvine Paving grew like it grew, right? I mean, that was going to be one of my next questions is, what do you attribute, in my opinion, your explosive growth at Rayvine Paving, especially going from a local company to a national company now, right? And so, that's kind of the next thing that I want you to speak on, but it's a good platform to go off of is what you just said. You saw an opportunity from mediocre pavers, so you differentiated, right? You said, okay, we're going to, from what I just heard you say, we're going to treat people how I want to be treated, and we're going to get them to be as proud and passionate about their driveways as I am. And I don't want to take words out of your mouth, but that then I think morphed into parking lots and bigger stuff. So why don't you expand onto that and talk about how you took this initial idea, leaving your dad, starting to do this other stuff, and then grew this awesome company and organization.
Yeah. So for me, guys, I mean, I think it, early on, I didn't get it. I didn't understand how to scale. I built it, myself and my dad initially, because I ended up not wanting to work with my dad anymore. I wanted to do paving. I ended up, my dad muscled himself into a partnership with me early on, and again, love my dad, but boy, he wasn't the perfect partner that for me. And we fought. We had fist fights on jobs. I got to be as big as my dad, and I was a bodybuilder and everything else. I wrestled as a young guy, so I got to be much tougher. So eventually, as I got tougher, I would challenge my dad a lot more, and a lot of times it would end up to fist at each other. Well, I can tell you, I never threw a fist at my dad, but he was never afraid to throw one at me, and I think he would admit that. But either way, bottom line is as I got to be a little older, my 19, 20, 21, and I wanted to do this business. I really wanted to do it on my own, but then my dad came eventually, loaned me some money for a piece of equipment, and then after I got the equipment, we're very productive, making good money with higher production. My dad, kind of said, okay, we're partners now. And I said, no, we're not. And we went back and forth. And after arguing for a couple of days, we, on the paving work that I wanted to be, do individually on my own, he became a partner eventually with me. But, and at the time I'd been working for him by the hour because he'd left the factory after I graduated high school. Before I graduated high school, left the factory, was doing all the stuff on his own. And it was final grades and grading. It was sewer hookups around Lake County, Illinois, because the septics were going to sewers. It was seawalls. We would do retaining walls around the chain of lakes. We do riprap seawalls, stonework, right? And we did again like 10, 15 different things for customers that would that homeowners. And guess he did fine, right? He was doing I'm guessing $400,000 or $500,000 a year in revenues, and he profited really well. He had no full-time employees, and I got out of high school, and it was with a vision of my own business, and worked for him at the time, big money. I think it was about $13-14 an hour back then in 1981. That was pretty good money, but I did it with a chip on my shoulders. I was eventually going to start a business, and I was embarrassed a couple times that I wasn't going to college, and the Ditch Digger CEO was derived from the terminology a friend of mine used and laughed at me in study hall, calling me, saying I'm going to be a ditch digger, and that's, the world needs ditch diggers, Rayvine, right?